It's Amy, your Gray Girlfriend, and welcome to the Gray Girlfriend's Guide to Life podcast. First, let me say that I'm so happy and grateful that you're here with me. Out of the more than 3 million podcasts available, you chose this one, so thank you. This podcast was created for high-achieving women, real women who face and conquer real challenges, real women who are ready to take their lives to the next level. Between us all, we've been through it all, and I'm here to tell you, you can thrive despite it. So whether you're commuting to or from work or doing one of the other 50,000 things you do on a weekly basis, pop in your earbuds, my friend, and let's go. Today's episode is It's Just Noise. Picture yourself on a journey toward a big, audacious goal, a mountain peak that represents your dreams, your Mount Everest. The path is steep, and along the way, storms roll in and rocks tumble down around you, and other hikers shout for your attention. Some of these obstacles are within your power to address, while others are simply part of the landscape. The secret to reaching the summit isn't about eliminating every challenge. It's about focusing your energy on what you can control and learning to ignore what you can't. In a world overflowing with distractions and setbacks and uncertainty, this mindset is your superpower. We're going to explore how mastering the art of controlling your controllables and letting go of the rest can help you experience your heart's desires with greater clarity and resilience and satisfaction. The world is full of distractions, and many of those distractions are out of your control. There's the uncontrollable distractions. That's life's background noise. From the ping of a group chat to the latest breaking news, the world is constantly vying for your attention. Some distractions are built into modern life, and no amount of willpower can silence them all. There will always be noisy neighbors, unexpected emails, or sudden changes in your environment. Then there's the controllable distractions, or better said, there are those that can be controlled by your response and your focus. While you can't stop the world from spinning, you can choose how you respond. You can decide what gets your attention, how you structure your day, and which habits to build to protect your focus. This is where your power lies. Focusing on what you can control is essential for manifesting your heart's desires, and here's why. Here's the science. Here's the science of control and well-being. Psychologists call it the locus of control, the belief about what you can influence in your life. People with an internal locus of control, those who focus on their own actions and choices, are more resilient, they are less stressed, and are more likely to experience what they would love to experience. Those who dwell on the uncontrollable external factors often feel powerless and overwhelmed. You bring your desires to fruition through consistent but inspired action. Big experiences are not created in a vacuum. They are the result of small, consistent, but inspired actions. You're not going to stay busy for the sake of being busy, however. You're going to take the right action until you are inspired to take the next right action. For example, if it's your heart's desire to write a book, start by writing 1 page a day. If you love to make a career change, start by making one new connection each day in your new field of interest, and ask every new connection who they think you should meet. If you'd love to learn Italian, start by learning 7 new words each day. You could understand 90% of the language in just 1 year. So while you can't control the outcome of every effort, you can control the effort itself. Why is focusing on the controllable essential? Well, that's because there are 3 hidden dangers in focusing on the uncontrollable. First, it's wasted energy. Worrying about things outside of your control, like other people's opinions or the economy or the weather, drains your energy and diverts your focus from what really matters, which are your actions. Second, it creates paralysis and procrastination. When you fixate on obstacles you can't change, it's easy to feel stuck. This leads to procrastination and indecision and a sense of helplessness. And what happens when you focus on that sense of helplessness? You guessed it, you feel more helpless. Third, it increases stress, and who needs more of that? Trying to micromanage the uncontrollable creates chronic stress. Over time, this chronic stress erodes your motivation and your creativity and ultimately your well-being. There's real power in controlling what you can control. First, you gain the power of clarity and confidence. When you focus on what's within your sphere of influence, you gain clarity. You know where to direct your time and energy, and you build confidence by taking meaningful action. Second, you create the power of momentum. Small wins, such as finishing a task or making a healthy choice or learning something new, create momentum. Each step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to planting your flag on the peak of your Mount Everest. Third, you develop the power of resilience. By letting go of what you can't control, you become more adaptable, like a palm tree in a hurricane. You don't want to be the oak tree that gets toppled over in the same storm. Now, for the sake of clarity, let me say that letting go is not the same as giving up. Giving up is throwing up your hands and walking away. But letting go is relinquishing control, letting Jesus take the wheel, as the country song goes. When you let go of what you can't control, setbacks and surprises become opportunities to refocus rather than reasons to give up. Here are some practical strategies for controlling the controllables. Number 1, identify what you can control. You can control your actions, your attitude, and your environment. When it comes to your actions, you can control how you spend your time, the effort you put in, and the habits you cultivate. When it comes to your attitude, you can control your mindset, you can control your optimism, and your willingness to learn. And when it comes to your environment, to some extent, you can shape your workplace and your routines. Number 2, let go of what is not in your control. Other people's opinions are not in your control, external events are not in your control, and past mistakes are not in your control. When it comes to other people's opinions, you can't control what others think or say, no matter what you do or say. If you find yourself worrying about the opinions of people you don't know, or if you're worrying about the opinions of people you do know, but you have no wish to emulate, no wish to be like, then I encourage you to adopt the following freeing attitude. And here it is. What they think of me is none of my business. I'm going to say that again, and you say it with me. What they think of me is none of my business. Now, one more time with feeling. Say it like you mean it. What they think of me is none of my business. Because here's the thing. People are going to think what they want to think and say what they want to say. Haters are going to hate. That's what they do. Deep down, at their very core, they feel terrified about themselves, so they hate on others to momentarily feel better about themselves. When it comes to external events, like the economy and the weather and global news, all of these are beyond your reach. Now, I'm not suggesting that you put your head in the sand and sing Kumbaya all day. But what I am suggesting is that you take preemptive actions to mitigate your risk when it comes to the things you can't control. For example, when it comes to the economy and your portfolio, make sure you have an investment advisor who has created and implemented a plan that is appropriate for your age, your goals, your risk, and your time horizon. If your asset allocation is based on those 4 fundamentals, then you are more likely ready to ride an economic downturn. When it comes to the weather, if you know a hurricane is headed in your direction, then make sure you have any prescription medications refilled, that you have some canned goods in your pantry in the event you lose electricity, that you have some bottled water and fresh batteries on hand, and of course, make sure you grab some extra pet food. When it comes to global events, you make your voice heard at the ballot box. You vote for the leader or the leaders you believe will not only keep your country safe, but will create policies that will put your country first economically, understanding that, as with individuals, your country can't pour from an empty cup any more than you can. When it comes to past mistakes, learn from them, absolutely, but don't let them define your present actions. Number 3, build habits that support focus. You can set clear boundaries. You can create a distraction-free zone, and you can practice mindfulness. When it comes to setting clear boundaries, each day choose 1, 2, or 3 of the most important tasks you can accomplish. Then feel the feeling of having accomplished them. Allow yourself to feel good about it. Allow yourself to be proud of it. Have a happy dance. When you focus on feeling good, guess what you get? That's right. You get more good feelings. When it comes to creating a distraction-free zone, you can silence notifications on your phone. You can tidy up your workspace, and you can use tools to block digital interruptions. When it comes to practicing mindfulness, notice when your attention drifts to the uncontrollable and gently bring yourself back to your task. And number 4, If you have to worry, schedule worry time. Literally schedule it. Set a timer. If you find yourself ruminating on things you can't control, set aside a few minutes each day to acknowledge these thoughts and then move on. Literally set a timer. Set it for 5 minutes. And when that timer goes off, smile and tell yourself, that's it. I'm done worrying for the day. Then be willing to change your vibration. Do something to change your vibration and allow your vibration to change. Take a walk. Play an empowering song, dance around the house, or listen to your new favorite podcast. Hint, hint. Number 5, celebrate your progress. No matter how small, acknowledge your progress. Every time you focus on what you can control, you're making progress. So take a moment and give yourself some love for showing yourself some love. Here's some real world inspiration for you. Here are 2 famous examples of control in action. The first is J.K. Rowling and her writing ritual. When she was writing the final Harry Potter book, J.K. Rowling faced enormous pressure and countless distractions. She couldn't control the media frenzy or her fans' expectations, but she could control her environment. So what did she do? She checked herself into a hotel and focused solely on her writing. She finished her masterpiece on her own terms. The second example is Steve Jobs and his relentless focus. The late Steve Jobs couldn't control the tech industry's chaos or his competitors' moves. So instead, he zeroed in on what Apple could do best, and that is to create beautiful, simple products. By saying no to distractions and focusing on what was within his team's control, he led Apple to unprecedented success. So what can you do today to start turning obstacles into opportunities? Here are 3 steps. First, reframe any setbacks. When something goes wrong, and things will go wrong from time to time because shit happens, ask yourself, what can I do about this? Maybe you can't change the situation, but you can change your response to it. You can allow yourself to learn from it. You can choose to adapt your plan, or you can choose to simply move forward. Second, embrace the power of acceptance. Acceptance is not resignation, but if that's where your mind goes, acknowledge it and know this. That is your old programming. It's a limiting belief that you likely picked up during childhood. It's an old belief that no longer serves you. And if you resemble this remark, it's time to redefine the word acceptance. Here's what acceptance really means. Acceptance is the recognition that some things are out of your hands, and that's okay. And accepting that some things are out of your hands is a sign of wisdom, and it frees up energy to double down on what you can influence. Third, build a focused, empowered life. And you can do that by starting each day with an intention, reflecting and adjusting, and staying flexible. When it comes to starting each day with intention, decide what's within your control and commit to taking action on those things. When it comes to reflecting and adjusting, at the end of the day, review what you accomplished and what you need to let go of. When it comes to staying focused, life can and will throw curveballs. So allow yourself to adapt and to adjust and to keep moving forward. As you navigate this day, my friend, remember, you can't control the weather, you can't control the news or other people's actions, but you can control your focus and your effort and your attitude. By mastering the art of ignoring what you can't control, by ignoring the noise of the landscape of life and doubling down on what you can control, you unlock the true power to create the experience that makes your heart sing. Wishing you peace and plenty of focus, inspired effort, and an unstoppable attitude. This is Amy, your gray and fully focused girlfriend. Hey, it's Amy. Did you know that what we tell ourselves about ourselves impacts every decision we make? Every decision. So if you're feeling stuck in any aspect of your life, RTT can help. Want to know more? Go to amyblairlawson.com or click on the calendar link in the show notes to schedule your complimentary 30-minute consultation. Oh, one last thing. I can't forget the legal stuff. You know what I'm talking about. The language a lawyers write that I have to read to you. Well, here it goes. This podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only. While I am a rapid transformational therapy practitioner, a certified divorce financial analyst, and a licensed investment advisor, this podcast is not intended as a substitute for a private session or a consultation. Got it? All right. Until next time, wishing you peace and plenty of all good things.